We all know that feeling when you're flying down your local trails, you're feeling the flow, you're feeling all good, and all of a sudden you've got a trail obstacle in front of you. Something that means you're gonna have to disturb your flow, jump off your bike to get over it. But today's video, we're showing you how to conquer all those common trail obstacles and not once get off your bike. Now, if you come across a river when you're out on your ride, you might think that that's an impassable obstacle, but with taking, a little bit of care, you can easily cross a river on your e-bike. Basically, all you need to do is check how deep the river is before you enter it. Make sure it's not going to go over your battery or your motor, because obviously if you get that completely soaked, it's going to cause you some problems. Have a look at the river base as well. Make sure where you're dropping in is nice and firm. If it's soft mud, it might cause you to go over the handlebars. Probably much amusement to your mates. But technique-wise, you just need to turn it up to high power, suggest boost mode. Make sure you're in an easy gear as well before you drop into the river. Then all you need to do, just look, focus ahead, take short little stabs at the pedals to make sure you've got momentum is key as well. Just keep the momentum in the bike all the time. As it gets shallower, you can probably do full revolutions. Lift the front wheel up, keeping the speed in the wheels, and ride away with dry feet. Now, when it comes to river crossings, there's a couple of mistakes quite easily made. One is coming in too fast. Now, when you're flying through the river with spray going everywhere, it might look really cool, but deep down, you could cause some damage to your electrics on the e-bike. So take it steady, but not too steady. Going too slow is another mistake. If you're coming into the river, and you haven't got enough momentum in the bike, then things start getting a bit, you start losing your balance. If you hit a rock or something you haven't seen in the river, it's quite easily just to topple over. You definitely don't want that, but your mates might. Low branches out on the trail can definitely disturb your flow, but more importantly, they can nearly knock you out. If you ever hit one of these things where you've underestimated the height or the lowness of it, it's going to nearly take your helmet off the back of your head. Loads of us have been there, but there's no reason to get off your bike to go under these low branches. You need to perform like a limbo and slide under that thing. So how do we do this bike limbo that I talk about? First of all, you need to drop the saddle down out of the way. Now, a lot of people tend to duck in the middle of the bike, but what I'd like to do is get behind. So I'm actually got more gap available. I've nearly got my bum on the back tire. That way I can super low and I can even duck my head down into the down tube, onto the top tube. So it gives me maximum clearance. Thing is, if you do it here, normally if you've got a riding pack or your helmet, you'll still find that you'll get a bit of collision with that. So try and get back down, and you can even drop your head to get maximum clearance. Now, common mistakes when it comes to riding over low branches is not to look ahead down the trail. Make sure you've had a quick scan of what's coming up, because once your head's down, you've lost all that vision. So quick scan ahead, then duck your head, raise and keep going. I've been caught out, it's quite an easy one to do. Next up is go low, lower than you think. It's quite common to get snagged up by your backpack or your back of your helmet. So make sure you're maximum duck and as low as you possibly can go on your bike. Now, the classic, the fallen log across the trail, quite common after a lot of high winds or forestry work, or people can actually lay these things across the trail to stop you riding them, but you don't need to get off your bike. There's a few different techniques we can use. With bad technique, it means you can either smash your motor casing, hit your chainring, or crash. But we don't want you doing that, we want you to be doing this. First up, the front bump technique. Now, this looks pretty impressive, but it's actually quite easy. All you're doing is you approach the log, you come in with good speed, get your weight back and perform a little mini manual. So you're lifting the front wheel only a few inches just to contact that top half of the log. As soon as that front wheel touches the log, it's going to want to throw the bike up into the air. So you've got your weight back, front wheel nice and high. Just be ready for the back wheel to contact it. Then all you need to do is get your weight back, let it rock over the log, get it back into the middle of the bike, pedal away, and you clean the log. Now, this is one of my favorites. It's the classic bunny hop. It's the easiest way and the fastest way to get over a log on the trail. People might think that you can't bunny hop an e-bike because they're so heavy, but it just takes a little bit more effort than a standard bike. But the way we're going to do it is we come in, preload the suspension, pedals level, good forward speed, hop up into the air, combining like a backward scoop up with your feet, level the bike off, and try and land back wheel. It's the easy way and the fastest way to get over a log. Now, common mistakes when it comes to crossing a log. first up is timing. If your wheels aren't in the right place at the right time, the maneuver is going to be all over the place. You're probably going to be hitting chain rings, things like that. Lastly is commitment. You need to come into this move with a lot of, well, not a lot of speed, just more speed than you think. It's quite an explosive maneuver. All of these require a bit of momentum in the bike to get it up into the air to clear the obstacle. I think Mother Nature put these two trees to disturb the flow of all mountain bikers on this trail. Things like this is purely, I'm just going to catch my handlebars on it as soon as I go to try and go through their flat bars. But a really cool way of making these flow on the trails is to do the bar flick. And all the bar flick simply is, as you approach it, you do a kind of like mini turn. And that way it's going to cause your handlebars obviously to be a lot more narrower. That way you should seize through the gap without losing any speed on the trail whatsoever. All we're doing is coming into it, choosing a spot on the floor about where we're going to lift the front wheel. Focus slightly on where the two trees are. You don't need to focus in on either your left or the right one. Just pick your spot, lift the front wheel, mini power wheelie, lifting that front wheel through, turning your handlebars, riding it along, and you haven't lost 1 mile an hour out of your trail speed. Now occasionally on the trail there will be things that you simply cannot bunny hop. Unless you've got massive arms like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you are not getting over this on an e-bike. But the easiest way is to perform a couple of different style of lifts. This is how you lift your e-bike over a big obstacle. First up is the bottom bracket lift. This is quite a simple one. It's really good for getting over lower style stuff such as this. It's not quite good enough for lifting it over gates or stiles, things like that you might be riding. Vitally important is to turn your e-bike off. Make sure that you've turned the motor and battery off. That way if you clip a pedal on your shoulder or the log, it's not going to wind your hand or the wheel's going to spin into your drive chain. All I do is just get the bike nice and low. I grab it right down by the motor so I've got a real high lift on it. Luckily I've got big long legs, so I can just step straight over this, drop it down, power on, right away. Now this is a high shoulder lift. This is really good for getting the bike over gates, stiles, and those really high obstacles you might not think you're going to be able to get up on the e-bike. First step, again, turn the power off, turn the pedals to 12 and 6 o'clock. So whichever side you're going to pick it up, you want the pedal nice and low. Grab it around the seat tube, grab a handful of the lower of the fork leg, close to it, bend your knees, all in one swiftly, drop it up and onto your shoulder. That way you can literally balance your e-bike just with one hand. Really good for climbing technical features as well. Things like this log, super easy. And obviously once you got to the other side, big explosive movement up. Just be careful again of your fingers, things like that. Turn the bike on, off you go. Common lift mistakes. Now these e-bikes are pretty heavy, so remember to bend your knees when you do that big lift. Also, remember to turn that power off. You don't want your fingers going in the chain and riding off with no fingers because you won't be able to use your brakes. So there you go. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video on all those common trail obstacles and how to conquer them without getting off your bike. Well, for most of them that is. But don't forget you can subscribe to EMBN by clicking the globe in the middle of the screen. But if you want to stick around, check out this video over here. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Drop us some comments in the box below.